It was a weird story from Shams in that the Bucks called the Knicks to gauge interest, but then the conversation died, and that the Knicks are the only team that Antetokounmpo has shown any interest in. But I would imagine it would require the entire Knicks roster to go back there, and I'd do it. I'd give anything that Milwaukee wants. I'd give it to them and start over that matches up on salary cap.
Yeah, Shams surprised everybody here. The two teams apparently discussed this a little back and forth there, and I think obviously the interesting part was there was just one team, and we've seen recently the NBA has kind of gotten away from that. But Antetokounmpo said, I only want the Knicks, and it seemed as though that the Bucks were willing to at least entertain this wish from their superstar. I thought we weren't doing that anymore. That also breaks the heart of a lot of fan bases out there that thought that they could get in this game.
If you're the Knicks, though, you start the game at anyone you want except Brunson, right?
Nope. Anyone you want.
But they start there. If you're the Knicks, you're not just saying, here's Brunson.
Right. I agree with you.
You're trying to play that game of...
You try to pair, and I think the assumption would be from even Milwaukee. Yeah, you make that ask for Brunson, but I would hope that the intention would be to pair the two.
I'd give away anything for a top 5 player in the league who changes my fortunes no matter how I put around him. And I understand that Milwaukee doesn't win the championship every year, but Brunson...
Well, you're a terrible negotiator. That's how you start.
Brunson, I want the player.
Take more.
No, you start, you're like, you know what? We're really unwilling to get rid of Mitchell Robinson. And then they're like, why? What do you know? I'm like, well, we can't part with him. I'm like, well, hold on a second. Well, if you can't get, we want him now.
Yeah, don't ask for Josh Hart. That's a no.
Weren't the Heat involved with speculation
stop with this.
about Giannis? No.
I mean, no, apparently not. Yes, Zaslow had that report in our mind, what we do often, and I think we got to wrap our brains around this guy doing it ain't happening anymore.
Wait a minute. So Zaslow, the journalist, had an erroneous report?
I don't believe
that.
No, the Miami Heat did indeed hear from all of the interested parties in possible acquisition, and everyone's got to do their planning there. The reason that this story is interesting is because it's twofold, I would say. One, it's the first indication we've gotten from a superstar who has chosen very carefully how it is that he's received by the American people. He is the only one who's been able to cross the language barrier and feel known by people in a way that's more than Luka, more than Jokic, really an international superstar who is transcended because we feel like in English he's trying to meet us where we are. So this is the first indication.
Not Dirk?
Okay, fair enough. Dirk as well. But Antetokounmpo among this batch of people that are presently vying for the face of the league after LeBron. We'll get to him in a second. But Antetokounmpo, the reason this is newsworthy is because, A, Milwaukee has made a call suggesting that, yes, he is available, and that call was so brief because the Knicks are not serious people. You're not going to get this person. You're not going to get this person by being finicky about what you're offering. You have to show them your entire roster. There's only 2 or 3 teams in the league who would say no to Giannis because I'm not giving up Jokic for him. It's literally 2 or 3. I'm not giving up Wembanyama for him. Go ahead and name all the others.
Shay.
But if there's only one team in contention, then why give them whatever they want? You have some leverage there.
They're not in contention, though, if they're not willing to give up something.
But they can be.
Not with Mitchell Robinson and Miles Turner
you can't
as
get
the
Mitchell
trade
Robinson.
pieces.
7 future first rounds?
get him.
No?
They don't have that. They
Dan,
don't have anything.
Dan, but isn't this also part of that chase? Having it leak out to Shams and have the conjecture start.
It's a dance.
You say that they're not in the race. To me, from where I'm looking, they're the only team in the race.
No, it's got to be players is what I'm saying. They've got 26, 28. They've got 30, 32, a protected Wizards pick at 26. They don't have good picks to give, so you have to give players. And you're not going to get this person for your discards. That's not how that's going to happen. Of course, Jalen Brunson's their most valuable piece. And he's on a great contract. They got him at value, which has to be Pablo Torres next finds out. They got Brunson's like the only guy in the league willing to take a super discount in order to stay someplace.
They can have Cat.
In basketball, though, sometimes you do get these players for nothing.
Everybody seems
Cat,
to.
Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson. Who else we got here? Come on, we can make
Not
a
Mitchell.
The superstars tend to get their way, except for when Miami's in the mix.
Billy, not this player. Not this player. This player is a top 5 franchise changer the moment that he steps into your uniform. There are only 5 of these in the entire league.
Within Shams' article, it is kind of important to note that the only call that it says here, it says the Bucks picked up the Knicks call on Antetokounmpo. This was after a conversation they had with Giannis where he expressed his frustration that he didn't feel like the Bucks were quite as close to championship contention as they could be at the beginning of the summer. They made moves independent of the potential moving of him that were meant to solidify the roster. And the Bucks insisted to the Knicks they did not plan to move on to Antetokounmpo, and those in Milwaukee believe New York was never really serious about the conversations because they didn't think Milwaukee would ultimately move him. This is just really, if we want to look at where this is situated, this offseason he'll have 1 year left on his deal. This is just sort of like planting the seed of, okay, New York should be one of those teams and putting pressure on Milwaukee to make the aggressive moves when it comes down to it, whether it be at the deadline or this offseason, to try to keep him happy.
It sounds like Milwaukee's playing both sides here. If you're accepting calls about Antetokounmpo, you're shopping them. Like
You have to take calls. You have to listen.
That doesn't
not
make
if it's that player.
Well, they
you
only
don't have to. No,
They only took one call, which makes me think like that's not literal, right? Like it's not like okay, the Heat call and then the phone just rings, and at the end, like they call the Heat back and be like, just so you know, that was us not taking your call because you're not in contention.
I'm picturing it like Moneyball, where it's an assistant yelling into the GM. We have the Bucks, we have the Lakers on the line. Nope.
And you say we're not taking that call, or do you set up a call like, hey, we'd like to call today at 2:00, and then the Heat call, and then it rings and they go, oh,
The Hornets are
They're not
calling.
taking
We have
our
the
call.
Hornets on the line.
I don't
Scam
think
likely.
anybody's taking any calls these days. All of us are using our phones as computers. Who the hell takes calls anymore? To me, the news is Shams reporting that the Bucks took a call. It didn't have to be from the Knicks. Someone at the Bucks picked up a phone and didn't treat it as simply a text
You
machine.
can't be putting this stuff on text. What do you think?